All right. Welcome, everybody, to this session again of IELTS Live. We are focusing on the listening section. After a little bit of technical difficulties, we're back. So now we will get right into our listening section one. Before that, we'll give a few moments for everybody else to switch over to this stream. I bet there's going to be some people hopping in pretty quick. And it seems like everything is fixed and ready to go. So, hi Karan, hi Deepesh. Yep, okay, hi Violet Newen. All right, thanks everyone for bearing with me and hanging in there. By the way, to use this situation to make a point, that's one of the important skills for the IELTS exam is never give up, don't get frustrated, analyze the situation, look for solutions. In my case, I had to do a full restart on the computer. There was all kinds of IP conflict issues and driver issues, but I fixed that. So we're ready to go. All right. Okay, everyone. So we are going to do the test one listening. And again, make sure that you turn up your volume, use a headset if possible. Write your answers in a separate piece of paper. Give everybody a fair chance to answer on their own. I'm going to darken the screen a bit so you can see some of these questions a little bit better. Okay. And here we go. So, everybody's ready? Paper, pencil. Just hop over, start the audio here from the website. And here we go.
Copyrighted by 2 Think One Solutions Inc. and World ESL Tutors. You will hear several different recordings and you will answer questions on what you hear. There will be time given to read the instructions and questions, and you will be given a chance to check your work. The recordings will be played only once. The test is made up of 4 sections. At the end of the test, you will have 10 minutes to transfer your answers to the answer sheet. Now turn to section 1. Listening section 1. You will hear a conversation between 2 men as one of the men buys a gym membership. First, you have some time to look at questions 1 to 5. You will see that there is an example. This time only, the conversation relating to this question will be played.
Good afternoon. I'm interested in purchasing a gym membership.
Of course, sir. What length of membership are you looking for? We have options ranging from 1 month to 2 years.
Can I get one for 3 months? I don't want to make too much of a commitment.
Of course.
The man says he wants a 3-month membership, so this answer has been indicated for you. Now we shall begin. You should answer the questions as you listen, because you will not hear the recording a second time. Listen carefully and answer questions 1 to 5.
Good afternoon. I'm interested in purchasing a gym membership.
Of course, sir. What length of membership are you looking for? We have options ranging from 1 month to 2 years.
Can I get one for 3 months? I don't want to make too much of a commitment.
Of course. Before we can get you started on getting into shape, I'm going to need some personal details from you.
Certainly.
Let's start with your name.
William Bacon.
Bacon spelled the same as the breakfast food?
Yes. B-A-C-O-N.
Okay, William. Now I need your residential address.
Oh, please call me Bill. I feel odd being called William.
Okay, Bill. So your address then?
Right. I live at 1653 Spooner Street in Liverpool.
Oh, I know that street. My grandmother lived there when I was growing up. The street name is spelled with an A, is it not?
Yes, that's right. Spooner is spelled S-P-O-O-N-A-R.
And your postcode here in Liverpool?
PK387YQ.
TK387YQ?
No, PK387YQ.
Right. Now we need your date of birth
April 9th, 1980.
and your telephone numbers, starting with your home number.
I don't have a home number, just a mobile number. It is 312-77-8391.
Fine then. Now, do you have any medical issues we should know about, such as asthma?
I have no medical concerns. I'm in perfect health as far as I know.
Now, I need to ask you a few questions to find out what type of gym membership fits your lifestyle the best.
There is more than one type of gym membership?
Oh yes, there are a number of different options. We have our most basic membership, which allows you to work out on the machines on the main floor of our town centre facility. Then there is our premium membership, which allows members usage of the machines on the second floor of our town centre facility, as well as access to our third floor lounge.
What is so special about the machines on the second floor?
Nothing really, but our gym is extremely busy, and often the machines on the second floor are the only ones available. However, as I said, they are only open to the premium members.
Tell me about the lounge.
Our lounge is fantastic. The room is big, about 50 feet by 50 feet, and we have 2 large televisions and many comfortable chairs. There is also full bar service and a complimentary snack bar.
You now have some time to look at questions 6 to 10. Now listen to the rest of the interview and answer questions 6 to 10.
That sounds great. Are there any other membership options?
Yes, there is one more. We call it the Premium Plus membership, and it allows customers to use any of our gym facilities in the country.
So if I go to London or Kent or Newcastle, can I use your gyms there?
Well, yes, but we don't currently operate a gym in Newcastle. We do, however, operate a total of 22 gyms in England, not including this one in Liverpool.
23 gyms. That's impressive. What is the price difference between these memberships?
Well, at your 3-month level, the basic membership is £53. The premium is £84 and the Premium Plus is £95.
That's quite a step up from basic to premium.
Yes, but it's quite good value for the additional services and location options.
I'll have to think this over a bit before I make a decision.
Just so you know, Bill, we are running a promotion right now. If you sign up another person along with yourself, we will give both of you premium memberships for the price of basic memberships.
Wow, that's a great deal. I wonder who I should ask to join with me. Greg loves to work out, but he's already has a gym membership. I could ask Steve, but he's so busy with work all the time. I think I will ask my neighbour Kate. She's been trying to get back into shape after having her baby last autumn.
Wonderful. I will see you soon then.
Yes, you will. Sorry, I didn't catch your name.
It's Mike, and it was a pleasure helping you.
I will hopefully be in tomorrow with Kate. Does 11 work?
No, sorry, I'm not in until midday.
I will see you midday then.
That is the end of section 1. You will now have half a minute to check your answers.
And use that half minute, students, to check your answers. Stopping the audio. And now we'll go through these together. I'll brighten up our day a little bit here so you can see me. All right. And then we'll go through the questions. So notice that at the beginning, I looked through all the sections. In the paper-based exam, this is sometimes possible. There's no rule that you shouldn't do that, although the examiners might stop you if they see you flipping the pages. Sometimes they don't, and that gives you a chance to get an idea of the topics for section 2, 3, or 4. Did anybody catch any of the topics in section 2, 3, and 4? Anybody catch what section 2 or 3 or 4 is about? No? Section 2 was something about provinces or traveling. Section 4 was something about dinosaurs, maybe, the Tyrannosaurus Rex, right? So even if you just catch one or two of the key words, that helps you to think about those sections, okay? All right, so here we listened to a person who wants to join a gym. Let's go through these answers together and then we'll talk about them. So this is a form completion type question. And here it goes step by step. So we heard the answer for number 1 first. The name was William, and Preeti says William Bacon. Yeah, and in part 1, they kind of go slow and give you a chance to really catch the answer. The person even says something interesting about this name. Anybody remember what the administrator asks about the spelling? So the administrator says, oh, it's spelt the same as. Anybody remember what that was? It kind of helped you. Yeah, Ruslan, that's right. So the administrator says, is that spelt the same as the breakfast food? Yeah, like bacon for breakfast, right? Does everybody know what the breakfast food? Yeah, it's a kind of meat. Yeah, it's pig. It's a type of pig meat. Exactly, Violet Newen. So it's a name, Bacon. Of course, there's a famous actor called Kevin Bacon. Maybe some of you know that. And Sherwing Zhang has put some bacon strip emojis up there for us. Thank you for that. That's bacon, absolutely. Okay, comes from the pig's back. All right, so here, the idea when you're listening for these names or postal codes is be patient. In part 1, they usually give you a couple of chances to get it correct. So be patient and focus, okay? That's what's important. Okay, the address. Where does this man live? So 1653, it's just one word here. Always pay attention to the instructions if it says one word or 2 words. Okay. Spoonar Street. That's right, Spoonar. So Spoonar. Okay. Spoon is like the utensil, right? So that's a spoon. Okay. So spoon, spoonar. Not ER, but AR. And the man says that again. He says AR. Okay. So pay careful attention. All right. So bacon and spoonar. Okay, so spoonar. When you're writing your answers, make sure that when it's a name, you're using a capital B. Okay. These are called proper nouns. You have to have a capital. It's okay in the IELTS to write all big like this. For the reading and the listening section, just be extra careful with your spelling if you're writing all uppercase, okay? Do not write all uppercase for your writing task 1, writing task 2, okay? So, postal code. Postal code, credit card, these kinds of dictions of numbers and letters, it's very common in the IELTS exam. Make sure that you practice this at home. What's the postal code? PK387YQ. Yeah, PK387YQ. Okay, spacing doesn't matter. And again, use capital letters for these, okay? So don't use the lower Q, use the uppercase Q. It's easier to read for the examiners and it just looks better, okay? So far so good. All right, so bacon, spoonar, PK387YQ. Looking good. One more blank in this form completion. What is this person, Mr. Bacon's, residential number? So the administrator says, okay, do you have a phone number, like a house number? And what is it? What's the phone number? Yeah, dicey SPB, very good. None. Okay. So there's no number. He says, I just have a mobile number. And then he says the mobile number. Sometimes I've seen students put this number for this number. That's wrong, okay? He says, I don't have a residential number. And you can see that none is an okay answer because it's here also. So medical issues, none. Residential number, none. Okay. Rajan Pandey is asking, can we write no? Here, it doesn't tell you one or two words. So I wouldn't write no, but I would say no number. Okay. No is a bit awkward, so I would write no number. I think they'll give it to you for no, but it's a little bit questionable. You see none here, that should help you with this one, okay? So none is better. The other expression that we use when you don't have a number like this is NA. Does anybody know what that stands for? So oftentimes when it's none, and we're filling in a document, we'll write it like this, NA. Does anybody know what that means? And that would be correct. And that's actually what most English speakers write into the form when they don't have a number, it doesn't apply. Anybody know what that means, the N/A? Very nice, Kushal. So Kushal Sharma, yeah, it means not applicable. Okay, means it doesn't exist, can't be used. Very good. Not available, it's not applicable. Okay, cannot be applied. Applicable is another word form for the word apply. Apply. Okay, all right, good. So NA would be okay, not applicable. Sure, some students learned some new information there, which is great for those of you who are filling out immigration forms and all kinds of other forms these days. Okay, then we had another question here. This was question number 5, and it was matching a diagram. This is why I darkened up the screen a little bit, so I'll do that again just so you can see it better for this question. What was the correct answer? So what does the lounge look like? A, B, C, or D? What does the lounge look like? A, B, C, or D? Yeah, A was the correct one. How do we know? So why? Why do we know that A is the correct one? What information were we given? Which helps us discern or differentiate A from B, C, or D. Yeah, so Ruslan, it's not lots of sofas, but lots of chairs. And Rajveer Singh says it's 50 feet by 50 feet. Yeah, we got this 50 feet by 50 feet. So we knew that it was either A or C. And then we got this other information of lots of chairs for the television. And here you only see kind of one. So that's the big difference there. So that's how we knew that right away when they said 50 feet by 50 feet, we knew that it couldn't be these ones. And then when the person says with lots of seating to be comfortable, then that's how we knew that it was A. So when you're doing this kind of diagram selection, pay attention to the differences. So right away we can see that the main difference in these two verses, these two, is the shape of the room. So you're listening for, it's a square-shaped room, it's a 50 by 50 foot shaped room, or it's a rectangular. Okay, this is called a rectangle. So rectangular room, then you know it's this one, all right? So when you're looking at these diagrams right away, when you're reviewing the questions, pay attention to the differences. What's different? And then listen for that in the audio, okay? All right. So here, question 6, you had to write 2 numbers with the letters. Match the membership option with its benefit. Write the correct number next to the letter. Okay? So here, pay also careful attention to the instructions. Okay? Write the correct number next to the letter. So A is 3, so we already have this one given. So B premium would be which one? Yeah, so B premium is 1, access to the lounge, and C is 2, access to facilities around England. Okay, let me brighten this up for us a little bit here. You can see me a bit better as well. Yeah, so notice everyone how Rajveer's writing this. Rajveer's writing it like this: B-1, C-2. Sometimes not just the question or the audio is difficult, but figuring out how you should put it into the answer key can be difficult. So in the answer key, you'll have a box for number 6 like this, and this is what you should write: B1, C2. Or you could do it just like this: B1, comma, C2. Okay? And then you'll get 1 point for number 6. Okay, so pay attention to the format. Sometimes students, especially high-level students, lose easy marks because of the format. That's where multiple choice makes a little bit more sense, but multiple choice doesn't test human thinking accurately. That's why the IELTS is not just multiple choice. Okay, here we go. So write no more than 2 words and or a number for each. This is short answers. This type of question is called short answers. 7, how many gyms does the company operate in England? Bekjan Omirzak says 23, and you're correct. So just the number here, 23. Yeah, the administrator says we have 22 gyms in England, not including this one. And then the man says, oh, 23 gyms? That's great. So it's good. Okay, number 8. What is the cost of the premium membership? Now we have the word pounds here, so you do not need to put it into your answer key. So how much does the premium? It's the second level. How much does it cost? Ruslan says 84. Kalatoon agrees. Most of you agree. Yeah, it's 84. 84 pounds for that. Okay, number 9. Who is Bill going to ask to join him at the gym? So the next one. Who is Bill going to ask? Kate, that's right, very good. Himanshi. Shalpreet. Kate. And again, it's a name, so make sure to have a big K. Okay, when you're writing a big K, this line has to come to the same level as the first vertical line. So Kate. Okay, very good. K-A-T-E. They didn't spell this one because it's a very simple name. So the IELTS examiners kind of expect students to be able to spell certain really simple names in English, like Mike, John, John, Sarah. Okay, so these kinds of simple names, careful, they won't always spell them. You kind of have to know how to spell some of these easy names. Okay. All right, number 10. What time is Bill meeting Mike the following day? Preeti says midday. Yes, midday is okay. It's how the British like to say it. Midday, 2 Ds. You could also write noon. If you forgot that it was midday, but you remember it was something like 12 p.m., you could write 12 p.m. as well. Just make sure to write p.m., okay, not just 12. 12 could be midnight as well if it's a.m. Okay, so 12 p.m. Okay, midday. Midday is one word. You don't need a hyphen there, Sundar, Akira, so careful with that. Okay, bonus question. What is Bill's full name? So, Bill Bacon, but what is Bill short for? Bill is short for what name usually in English? Saminder says it's short for William. That's right, yeah. So William. Some names in English have interesting short forms. The short form for William is Bill. Okay. So Bill Clinton might actually be William Clinton, right? Interesting. All right, students, good job. Count up how many you got correct. So how many did you get correct from 10? Okay, so what was your score from 10, your raw score? Now, ideally, your score here is 8 or more, okay? 9 or more, all right? Kalatoon says 9, Shahil Preet says 9, Bekjan says 8, Rajveer says 10, that's perfect. Yeah, part 1 is the easiest part in the IELTS, so you really want to pick up as many points as possible, all right? You really, really want to pick up at least 8, 9, 10. If you're having trouble scoring 8 from 10 in part 1, then really do a lot of listening practice before you sit your exam. My experience is that when students get less than 8 correct in part 1, they usually don't get 6 or more in the listening section, okay? So be really, really careful, practice with that, because part 2, 3, 4 just get more and more difficult, all right? Okay, students, looking good. Let's do part 2, okay? Now, be careful in the IELTS in 2020, since January of this year. Just a quick note, here we have this example question. They don't have that anymore, okay? So there's no example in part 1, and they don't call these sections anymore, so they don't say section 1, but they call these parts. So this will be part 1, okay? And no example. That's a big change for 2020. The way that it really affects you is you have a little bit less time to review the questions, okay? All right? And they don't refer to page numbers, just question numbers, but that's not a big deal. That didn't really happen often in the past either. Okay, so let's do this together. Again, students, I'm going to play the audio for part 2. Please listen carefully, answer questions. Don't put the answers into the chat. Please put the answers into a separate document or write them on a separate piece of paper so that you don't confuse your fellow students, okay? Ruslan says the example is really annoying. I think maybe that's what some of the test makers thought as well, Ruslan. Okay. Rajveer, there's absolutely no example, so they just get right into the audio. Okay. All right, here we go, students. Volume's max on my side, so if it's quiet, turn up the volume. On your end, use a headset. Again, we'll go over the questions after. Don't put them in the chat. Okay. So here we go with part 2.
Now turn to section 2. Take some time to look at questions 11 to 16. Listening section 2. You will hear a recording of a travel show about tourism to Calgary, Canada. First, you have some time to look at questions 11 to 16. Now listen carefully to the interview and answer questions 11 to 16.
Hello, I'm Deborah Sloan and welcome to Hotspots, the travel show that highlights great tourist spots around the world. Today we have a representative from Calgary, Canada, who is going to tell us a little about the city.
Thanks, Deborah. Yes, my name is Robert and I'm going to tell you all about the wonderful city of Calgary.
Sorry, I hate to interrupt, Robert, but can you tell me exactly where Calgary is? I'm sure many of our viewers are wondering.
Sure. Calgary is the largest city in the province of Alberta, which is the second most western province in Canada. Alberta lies directly east of the province of British Columbia, of which Vancouver is a very well-known tourist destination, and directly west of the province of Saskatchewan, of which Regina is the capital. Canada is a very big place, and that is shown by just how far Calgary is from many of the other major Canadian cities. Calgary is over 1,000 kilometres from Vancouver and over 3,400 kilometres from Toronto, Canada's largest city.
Canada is definitely a very spacious country.
Yes, indeed. Well, let me tell you a little about Calgary. Calgary is a beautiful city of approximately 1 million people, situated next to the Rocky Mountains. It is known most, perhaps, for the world-famous Calgary Stampede.
Is that with the cowboys and bull riding?
Yes, and it's held every July in the city. The Stampede attracts more than 1 million visitors each year from all over the world. It is referred to as the greatest outdoor show on earth. Another fact that Calgary is well known for is oil, which was first discovered in the area in 1902. With the boom in oil prices over the past 40 years, Calgary has seen its population grow from 400,000 in 1971 to over 1 million in 2007. In that time period, Calgary was by far the fastest growing city in Canada. Many sports fans will know that Calgary was host to the 1988 Winter Olympics, and to this day, Calgary remains a winter activity destination with several world-class facilities dedicated to many winter sports, from bobsled to curling to speed skating and everything in between. One of Calgary's biggest icons is its hockey team, the Calgary Flames, who play in the National Hockey League, or NHL as it's better known. They have been one of the more successful teams in the league during their 30 years in Calgary, even winning the coveted Stanley Cup in 1989.
You now have some time to look at questions 17 to 20. Now listen to the rest of the interview and answer questions 17 to 20.
On the cultural side of things, Calgary boasts a number of festivals during the year, including a fringe festival, a comedy festival, as well as the Calgary International Film Festival. Calgary is also home to numerous theatre companies, as well as the Calgary Opera, Alberta Ballet, and the Calgary Philharmonic Orchestra.
Sorry to interrupt again, Robert, but this programme is called Hotspots. So what's the weather like in Calgary? I've heard it's cold.
Yes, in the winter it can be quite cold, but in the summer it is also quite warm, with average summer high temperatures hovering around 23 degrees Celsius, while average winter high temperatures are around -2 degrees and routinely go down to -20. Calgary experiences something quite unique when it comes to the weather. It has these weather fronts called Chinook winds, which can blow through the city in the winter and temporarily raise the temperature by up to 15 degrees Celsius. These Chinook winds can last anywhere from a few hours to a few days, and they are welcomed with open arms by the people of Calgary. Calgary is also one of the sunniest cities in Canada, as well as one of the driest, which makes up for a lot of the cold weather. Honestly though, if you're looking for a winter getaway to a hotspot, as you say, Calgary is not the place to go. But if you are looking for a winter getaway that includes skiing or snowboarding or anything else done best in the cold weather, nobody does it better than Calgary.
Thank you, Robert, for that fascinating look at Calgary.
That is the end of section 2. You will now have half a minute to check your answers.
And again, students, always use that time to check your answers. Just stopping the audio on the website, and then we'll go over the answers together. So, first one was this kind of map diagram type question. It was asking you to match the diagram with the choices given below. You get a little compass with north, east, south, west. And then you have Alberta here, the province of Alberta in the middle. Of course, Canada has provinces and territories, somewhat like India. And then you have a province to the west and a province to the east. Number 11, Is it Vancouver, Saskatchewan, Calgary, British Columbia, or Regina? So number 11, A, B, C, or D. Let's see if anybody gets the correct answer. Number 11, students, is D. It's British Columbia. Okay. Now, it was a little bit tricky because in the audio they said Alberta is east of the province of British Columbia. So, Alberta is east of British Columbia. That's where I'm from, by the way, British Columbia. I'm from the capital city of British Columbia, Victoria. So, there's some more information. So, British Columbia is west of Alberta. Alberta is east of British Columbia. Be really careful with this kind of language, okay? And Saskatchewan, of course, then lies directly east of Alberta. Alberta is west of Saskatchewan. So Alberta is west of Saskatchewan. Okay. Especially for those of you who are planning to travel to Canada, or immigrate to Canada or study in Canada, I highly recommend learning the main geography of Canada. So know the provinces, know the territories, and know some of the capital cities of these provinces as well. Okay. Capital city of Regina or Saskatchewan is Regina. Capital city of British Columbia is Victoria. Okay, so that's my hometown, Victoria, on the Pacific Ocean. So number 11 was D, British Columbia. Number 12 was B, Saskatchewan. Okay, all right. Now here you have two questions, 13 and 14. So this is worth 2 points. The order doesn't matter. Okay. And the question was, 1 million people is the number used to describe two groups in the recording. Which of these does it describe? The population of Alberta, the population of British Columbia, the population of Calgary, the number of visitors to the Calgary Stampede each year, and the number of visitors to Calgary each year. So, did anybody catch those? The population of Alberta, I think, is around 4 million people. So, definitely not that one. The population of British Columbia is also about 4 million people. So, definitely not that one. The population of Calgary, that's correct. It's about 1 million people. And the number of visitors to the Calgary Stampede. So the correct answers were C and D. Now, as you can imagine, in July, when they have the Calgary Stampede, it's pretty hard to get a hotel room or even an Airbnb in Calgary at that time because the city's population goes from 1 to 2 million people. It doubles in population. So if you want to see the greatest outdoor show on earth, where 1 million people will travel to partake for that, I think it's 2 weeks long, then check out the Calgary Stampede. All right, so C and D. Pay careful attention. Next one, multiple choice. With multiple choice, you really have to focus on the question. So which industry is Calgary well known for? A, wheat, B, oil, C, natural gas. So which one is it? Shuja, there are no half marks in the IELTS. You either get the mark or you don't. Okay. Oil. Yeah, absolutely. Calgary is well known for its oil industry, which has been doing really poorly in the last few years, but it is oil. Okay, B, oil. All right, which of these events did Calgary host? The Stanley Cup, the Winter Olympics, or Expo 88? A, B, or C? Number 16. The correct answer is Winter Olympics. Bonus question, students. Which other Canadian cities have been home to the Winter Olympics? This is just some fun facts here, just to kind of put a little bit of excitement in this IELTS class. So, fun facts. Which other cities hosted the Winter Olympics in Canada? Anybody know the answer to that question? Let's see how many of you are familiar with your Olympics or Canadian history. So, Winter Olympics, once in Calgary. Where else? It's the Winter Olympics where every country in the world, or most countries in the world. Yes, that's right, Preeti. Vancouver, 2010. Vancouver was the home to the Winter Olympics. And what other city? Anybody? Montreal was the other one. I believe 1978 maybe? Montreal. In Quebec. So Vancouver and Montreal have also hosted the Winter Olympics. Those are some fun facts. They're good to know. If you're ever on the show Who Wants to Be a Millionaire and they ask, how many cities have hosted the Winter Olympics in Canada? You can now say 3. There have been 3 cities to host the Winter Olympics in Canada. Okay. Mohammed Akbar, Moscow is in Russia. Different place. Okay, so here we go. Number 17. Average summer highs in Calgary reach how many degrees Celsius? Okay, so average summer highs in Calgary. So in the summer, how warm does Calgary get? Yeah, 23. 23 degrees Celsius. You don't need to write degrees Celsius because it's in the question. So you only need to write 23. Now, you have to remember, Calgary is very sunny. So 23 in Calgary can actually feel like 35 sometimes. It's very dry and sunny. Okay, so some of you are thinking, ooh, 23, that's not that warm, but it actually feels a lot warmer than 23. I've been there, so 23 degrees can feel quite hot in Calgary. All right, here we have a little bit of a complete the paragraph. Average winter highs in Calgary reach, what's the missing word for number 18? Jay says -2. Kalatun, if you have to write Celsius in the computer-based version of the exam, then you have to actually write the word Celsius. I don't think you'll be able to find the figure. The only word you need here is minus. Okay? That's the only missing word because it's 2 degrees. If you write -2 in your answer sheet, you'll get that wrong because -2 doesn't make sense. So just minus, okay? Chinook winds can raise the temperature by up to 15 degrees Celsius and can last anywhere from a few hours to a few, what's the missing word? Number 19. Few what? Few days, that's right. Okay, make sure it's plural with an S, otherwise you'll get it wrong. Calgary is also one of the driest cities in Canada, as well as one of the, what's the last one? Okay, Violet Nguyen, Adnan, days with an S, okay? So one of the driest, you have the word driest here, so if you write driest, you'll get it wrong. It's one of the ICSPB and Rajveer say sunniest. Sunniest, it is. Sunniest. Okay, very good. So sunny, sunniest means it's the most sunny. Okay. All right, students, how many did you get from 10 in part 2? So what did you get in this part 2? Add up your scores and let me know what you got. Make sure to keep your scores for tomorrow's class, because tomorrow we will do part 3 and part 4 also. Okay? Kalatu 9 is great. Rajveer 2020, that's a perfect score. You're on your way to a band 9. Sherwin 9 out of 10 is fantastic. In part 2, you're looking for 7 or more. Okay? So you're looking for 7 or more. Students, thank you so much for bearing with me. I know that was a little bit annoying, the technical difficulty at the start of the class there. It's my bad for not seeing that in the system. But anyway, we got it done. You hung in there, which is great. It's important to do that for IELTS studies. Push through the difficult parts, always. That's one of the most important pieces of advice I can give you today. And again, check us out at aehelp.com for lots more help with the academic version of the test, and gieltshelp.com for the general, okay? Members, tomorrow we'll have a reading class, and then for everybody at the same time as this class today, we'll do listening parts 3 and 4, and then we'll check your overall band score. You're very welcome, Mohammed. You're very welcome, Rajveer. Thank you so much, everyone. Much love to all of you from the heart of Europe, next to the Danube in beautiful Budapest. Bye for now.